A massive thank you to Joseph, Kid, Johnny the Wizard, Typical Gamer and Adnan for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 13 of Season 5 of the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yesterday we're here back ready for the USGP. 4 races to go of Season 5 of this series. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live Monday from Singapore, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Safe to say, Singapore was the race we absolutely needed, though, at this stage of the year. Spoilers, of course, in just a moment. But, of course, as always, a massive thank you to all of you guys for the continued support. We're now very close to 37,000 subscribers. If you could help us get one step closer, it would be massively appreciated. Trying to hit 50k by the end of 2021. So, yeah, that would be greatly appreciated if you guys could help us get just that one step closer. But, yeah, this weekend, though, as we head to Kota, just doing sort of a few bits behind the scenes as well. We've shut down a few of the facilities. We're still waiting as to what the rule changes are going to be ready for Season 6. So yeah, we just sort of shut down the facilities at the moment. You know, they're not doing anything. We're just wasting money on them. So yeah, that's why we've done that for the moment. But championship-wise, though, we now have a 20-point lead over Max Verstappen as we head into the US Grand Prix this weekend there. The team's still, 46 points ahead of Red Bull in the Constructors' standings as well. So things are looking good. They can very easily turn around, but right now, things are looking rather good at this stage of the campaign. If anything of this season has proven that it can yo-yo backwards and forwards so quickly between myself and Max Verstappen there. But yeah, 104 points still available, so it is now only the top. Yuki Tsunoda could still win the title, so Hamilton is mathematically out of it this year. But yeah, 4 races to go. Let's dive in here to the US Grand Prix.
Okay, I need your attention. The tech regulations are changing. There's a risk some of our hard work will be undone, so we need to mitigate it. As soon as you can, I want you to look at the developments we have and tell us what areas you want to invest in protecting.
Well, I kind of ruined that because I was trying to recalibrate my wheel, but we have therefore got rule changes ready for Season 6, and what are they going to be? It doesn't tell me. I don't know what it is. So it's gonna be, by the looks of it, aero, chassis as well, and powertrain. Is it going to be... So not reliability, though. Not durability, sorry. So every other department has been shut down, ready for the new season there. We have still got a few things, obviously, from the supplier that won't need to be retweaked. But massive rule changes coming in then for Season 6 of this career mode. Of course, we've got 60,000 R&D points at the moment. So obviously, we may as well just try and whack on as many upgrades as we can. But of course, we can't even do that this weekend because the departments are all shut down. So we'll have to make sure when we go to Mexico next time that we get those all sorted. What a dramatic twist, though, in this career mode. 3 major rule changes coming in for the new season. That is surely going to shake up the order absolutely massively there. You can see 68 parts we're going to need sorting ready for Season 6. But yeah, let's dive in then here to free practice from Kota. Right, well, here we are then, back at the US Grand Prix this weekend. Kota, yeah, very much has become a staple of the Formula 1 calendar in more recent years, and has often, yeah, been a race that's actually given us some dramatic results in the past, not only on F1 2021, but also prior F1 games, as we try and get the car tipped in through the final sector of this track acclimatization lap. We might now actually have to worry a little bit about R&D points, but I think, yeah, with 60,000... and yeah, 68 upgrades to do ready for Season 6. We should be able to get most of them sorted, I think, without too many issues. But, oh, that is not the apex through the penultimate corner. We'll actually take the IndyCar line through there. But round in the final turn, still, I think, only going to be the green score. Right, anyway, out onto our tyre wear run. Always got to try and use the ERS down the straights just to give yourself that little bit of a boost on the Delta. Struggling a bit for front locking, actually, in towards the first corner here, and we'll see how we bear through the S's. Ooh, back end just a little bit squirrely there as we head down the hill, so I might just try and up the ride height slightly before we jump into qualifying. But yeah, just tipping it in. Obviously you can attack the curbs in a couple of places, but we are a little bit down early on in the lap. Obviously really got to try and attack that curb as you head in towards Sector 2, and then yeah, just blast the ERS down the straightaways. Just gives you a few tenths in hand. Always has done later on F1 2021, but modulate the throttle on corner exit as best as possible. There we go, as we head through the Turkey section there. Car picking straight up into the purple. That's why you build up that delta earlier on in the lap, so you can afford to just take a little less out of the tyres. Through the penultimate corner we go. Up towards the line, that is going to be a purple score. Let's get into quali. Well, qualifying day then here at the US Grand Prix, and potentially one of the most important sessions of the year so far. We've still got a 20-point lead over Max Verstappen as we head into this weekend, but yeah, like I said, if this season's taught us anything, that lead can swing pretty much in an instant here in F1 2021. Yeah, going out though for our first run in Q2, we're going to try it out first of all on the mediums. Definitely don't think it's going to be a particularly brilliant tyre to do qualifying runs on, just due to the nature of how loose and slippery the back end can be around here. I have made some setup tweaks, was the words I was looking for there. But yeah, still, you know, that's what I mean. The car will snap quite happily on you around here. It's just the nature of COTA. It's quite a low grip track on F1 2021. And you've got to be super, super careful of it there, as Esteban Ocon sets a 29.5. I think to make it through into Q3. Top guys, it's very, very close this weekend if Q1's anything to go by. Mid to high 27s, I think, are going to be the top times. There's immediately there. Bottas sets to 28.6. Verstappen now down to 27.6 as we head through the final few corners of the lap. And this, I think, is going to be a little bit sketchy as well. As we head through the Turkey section. Actually, no. Back end able to sort of stay in check this time round as we head now down through the final couple of turns. Back up towards the start-finish line. It's definitely, obviously, not going to be a good lap considering that mistake we made, but it is still going to be a 31.3. Oh, you love to see it. Good, that's what we need in a qualifying run. But yeah, we're going to head out then on the set of soft tyres that I used in my Q1 lap. Fingers crossed then, that's just going to give us a much better representative banker. But not much time actually left in qualifying here of Q2. As immediately, yeah, going to find a 10th or so as we head down through the first couple of corners. But again, back end. Still really all over the show. Through the S's, tip it in. Try again, just try and keep the back end in line as we are, of course, finding time on much quicker tyres. Oh, that's far too much curb through there, though. That's going to cost us. And again, a little bit of a wobble. But we are going to find a good second or so through just that one corner alone. So this probably needs to be, yeah, in the 28s. That's not going to help us, though. That was awful. What am I doing? Might have to bail out this lap and immediately get back out there on the fresh set. That was a bit sketchy as we head in towards the penultimate corner of the lap. Tip it in 6th gear there. The car will grip up. And it is going to be a good couple of seconds improvement still. So it is going to be a low 29, but nowhere near where we want to be. 4 tenths off Bottas still. We need to get this final lap in well. Less than 20 seconds on the clock then. Everyone else is finishing their final qualifying runs as we head through the final corner. About to start ours there, because there's a few slower cars now that have finished their laps. Fingers crossed they're going to get out of the way for us, or at least stay far enough up the road. As we head back down through turn 1. Very, very late on the brakes, but it does allow us to roll on the throttle a little bit earlier there. Avoid the wobble on the exit of the first couple of corners. Shouldn't have changed up into 8 through the first part there, but we carry a lot more momentum through the second and the third apex. We are going to be green. So we head through sector 1. Oh, again though, way too much curb through the next couple of turns there, as we're now going to be about 1/4 of a second up as we head back down the hill. Fingers crossed, yeah, these guys aren't going to hold us up as we head out onto the back straight. And now, yeah, we're finding a bit more time as the lap unfolds here. Not too sure how much more delta we're going to need to make us safely through into Q3, but it would be an absolute disaster if we go out in Q2 here in the US Grand Prix. Again, really, really late on the brakes as we head down in towards this final sector. Just got to try and keep it smooth on the throttle through here. You know, no oversteer, no theatrics, anything like that. Purple actually through the middle sector, but we've always been strong through there this weekend. Now we're 3/4 of a second up as we head through the final few corners of this lap. Keep the throttle in. Just blend the throttle through there. Don't allow the rear end to get a bit unstable. Really attacking the curbs. Luckily, Gasly And I think it was Latifi move out of the way for us through the final corner. 8/10th improvement, that's going to be a 28.2, and that should be us through. Well, we do make it through there, but nowhere near the sort of pace I would have wanted. Sainz, 1,000th of a second quicker than Max Verstappen at the end of that second run there. But look at that, Mercedes right back on the money this weekend. Aston Martin even right there as well, with Lance Stroll making it through into Q3. So we did only sneak by, but that being said, if we find, what, 2/10ths, we could find ourselves on the second row of the grid here. Let's dive into Q3 for the USGP. Right, we've only got 2 shots at this then in Q3, and we at the very least need to try and put this first lap close to a 1:27. I think we're going to need a couple of sweat mode laps here. I want to try and get the lap hooked up. I know the pace is in the car. It's just about trying to string it all together on one lap, as that was quite possibly, I think, the best line we've done through turn 1. No dramatics on the exit as well, and completely smooth through the bottom of the hill. Sergio Perez sets a 27.9, first lap on the board. As we head now through the final few corners, you are really just guessing what the back end's going to do through there. All very, very wide through the penultimate corner, but up towards the line. Don't think we gained anything from doing that, to be honest. Just scrubbed off a lot of momentum, and it's a 28.5. Verstappen, though, only on a 28.3, so maybe the track's getting slightly worse at the moment as Lando goes up onto the front row. We need a big final lap here, all or nothing. We get ready to start our final lap then here, qualifying at the US Grand Prix. We've been relegated all the way down to 9th place, so this has to be maybe the lap of the season. Let's go here for a lap of COTA. So far, lap's been not too shabby. A couple of small mistakes here and there, but we're quarter of a second up. And there's definitely time to find in the second half of the lap. Run it again, and just that little bit wide through the first part of the penultimate corner, but round in the final turn we go, full throttle to the line. It's gonna be a 27.8 there. No idea where it left us on the grid. That was definitely the best I've had. Is P4. I'll take that.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Leclerc, Sainz, and Max Verstappen. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Well, there we go. Second qualifying session in a row. I've been able to beat someone that has driven an AlphaTauri by 9,000ths of a second there. This time around, it was Yuki Tsunoda that we just got ahead of. But look at Ferrari. 1-2 on the grid for the US Grand Prix. Maybe they are finally back late on in the campaign there. Verstappen just half a tenth away, but he'll be with us on row 2. And yeah, look at that. Just less than a tenth from 4th down to 7th as well on the grid. But ready then here for the US Grand Prix. What is going to happen today? Will Ferrari be ready to turn up the wick? It might help us out massively in the championship. Let's dive in here to COTA. We're now just a few weeks away from the F1 2022 winter testing, and the F1 store has released all new lines celebrating the 2022 Chinese New Year. First of all, we've also now got the 2022 McLaren fanwear drop has finally been revealed. There's still different merch available from every team, and now there's 20% off any lines on the store as well if you use the code currently on your screens. Click the links down below if you want to go check it out.
Here we are then in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the fabulous Austin, in the great state of Texas. The circuit itself 14 miles southeast of the city centre and home to the US Grand Prix since 2012. The latest in a long list of iconic tracks to have that honour. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and talented Spaniard Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Verstappen, Mr. Monaco, Yuki Tsunoda, and Perez, Norris, Hamilton, Gasly and Lance Stroll, Russell, Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas and Joe, Latifi, Ocon, Callum Ilott and Mick Schumacher, Giovinazzi, Lundgaard, Schwartzman and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
I think, yeah, trying to keep the momentum going is going to be key here today. But we are alongside our main championship rival. And I think, yeah, the goal today is just to try and beat young Max Verstappen there. Team don't think soft medium is going to be viable today, but that is going to be the strategy I'm going to try and roll with. Nice to see as well Mazepin has gone back to his normal spot, right at the rear of the field. It's been weird having him an Alpine with the potential to make it through into Q2. But yeah, we need a good clean start, as I always say, as we head up towards turn 1. Ferraris, though, on the front row. Very, very intrigued to see how their race pace will be here today. Are they back once more? It was about this time last season Ferrari seemed to get right towards the very front and then always just seem to fall backwards when the new season gets underway. But we need to beat Max Verstappen here. 20 points the gap as we head into the US Grand Prix this weekend. 5 red lights here in COTA, and it's going to be lights out and away we go. Trying to avoid the wheel spin there as Tsunoda has rocketed off the start as we head down towards turn 1. Oh, we've got Lewis Hamilton. That's surely not the best move in the world from Hamilton, but he's made it work, and he's gone from 8th to 3rd there as we go 3 wide down through the bottom of the hill, and we do make the move work on Tsunoda and Max Verstappen there. One of the most dramatic starts I think I've ever seen in this career mode there, and somehow I think everyone has come out of it scot-free. I think Sainz might actually have a small bit of damage there as we go around the outside of the Spaniards. So Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton have nailed that start. Leclerc 3 seconds clear after just 1 sector of this Grand Prix, but Hamilton, of course, announcing his retirement at the end of the year just a couple of race weekends ago. Clearly thinking he'll do whatever he likes at this stage of the campaign. I'm sure there'll be some comments from you guys referencing a certain British Grand Prix from last year about that one. But for us, though, it's basically been the dream start, though. We're up 1 place, which I'm absolutely happy with. We're definitely going to be quicker than the Merc over the course of the race as well, unless Hamilton, you know, he's come back to COTA, which has always been a good track for him, and decided this is where he wants to take Mercedes' first win of the year. But yeah, Verstappen going backwards. I think he's down in 6th place off the start of the Grand Prix there, so not much luck for the Dutchman as we head through the final couple of corners of lap 1. That was very, very wide there. Got to try and get some heat into the rubber. But yeah, Hamilton and Leclerc, though, nailing that start. One slightly less controversially than the other. Sainz does have to box at the end of the first lap, so Verstappen does get promoted back up to 5th. But yeah, we got a second in front, 3 seconds back. What a weird little start to the US Grand Prix, but certainly dramatic.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Or maybe Mercedes are back as well this weekend, because it doesn't look like Tsunoda's under much pressure from Max, and we're certainly not quite closing in the gap to Lewis Hamilton the way I would have wanted to either. It's a very, very long race ahead of us. Of course, we're only on lap 3 of 28, and a safety car could very easily change the face of this GP. But yeah, we've got our strategy in mind, though. I'm going to try and take these softs just a couple of extra laps, and then hopefully have some slightly quicker, fresher rubber later on in the Grand Prix. But yeah, Leclerc and Hamilton really pulling away through that first sector. I'll be honest, early on we are really actually struggling against everyone around us in this GP. Hamilton and Leclerc are just slowly pulling out the gap, and Tsunoda is getting close to 1 second behind us as well, so we might be under some pressure early on. Perhaps all these guys playing catch-up, you know, factory teams.
Okay, gap ahead is 1.9 seconds.
Maybe we are just slowly getting swallowed up on pace once more in this series late on in the campaign. But yeah, got to keep our head down and focus. Bigger picture. I think the problem we're actually facing at the moment is front tyre overheating. We're really struggling on that front right. It's costing us through a lot of the lap, of course. Any left-hander, we're just leaning on it really badly, and it's just not helping the problems go away. So Leclerc and Verstappen now all over our gearbox. I think we've got to try and pick our rivals today, though. We need to beat Verstappen. That is the key.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Team already recommending new strats. They want us to pit even earlier in this GP, which is never a good sign. I wanted to try and make it to lap 12 on these soft tyres, but oh, look at that. Yeah, already that might not be possible. Just keep our head down, come on. Got to stay in the zone at the moment. Oh, Tsunoda this time round's got a good run on me as we head down the back straight. This thing's always been a bit of a pocket rocket down the straights though, so Tsunoda isn't quite going to get close enough despite the DRS. But yeah, just really all over the show at the moment. But again, think bigger picture. It's a lot at stake still late on in this campaign. Verstappen's still behind us right now. We've got the Constructors' Championship to worry about as well. I think we've just got to try and keep these guys at bay. Hang on until lap 12. I think the tyres should make it.
Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Okay, perhaps the tyres won't make it, but still. Tsunoda this time round closer and closer, as this time round he's going to have a look to the inside. He's at Yuki Tsunoda. We're going to try and hook it up round the outside there, but nothing we can do. Big lock up on the exits. We accidentally wheel spin out in front of Max Verstappen, but Tsunoda, yeah, romping past us that time round. Guessing he wasn't using much deploy on the lap before. But yeah, Verstappen, we haven't had many battles with the Dutchman this year on track, to be honest, considering how titanic the championship battle has been. Maybe we're going to see one today again. Oh, there we go. Immediately, though, Tsunoda into the pits. And as soon as I say about a battle with Max, he boxes in. So clearly too afraid to fight me. And for the first time in a very long time, Lewis Hamilton...
You'll be on the mediums.
As I was trying to say, for the first time in a very long time, Lewis Hamilton leads the way in a Formula 1 Grand Prix. This might well be the last time we see that in this career mode. Here we go, Sergio Perez now. He hasn't been particularly useful to Max Verstappen all year, but he's going to put a move on us now as we head down the back straight. Are we going to stay close enough to the Mexican? Oh, big lock up. We have a look to the inside though, and we will hang on to the position for now. And actually let Pierre Gasly pass Sergio as well, but that front inside wheel on the left-hand side, sorry, yeah, really struggling at the moment. We're snagging it everywhere. What has gone on with the tyres this weekend? But we've still got to try and drag these tyres a few more laps if we want our strategy to work. We head out of the final corner. Pretty much everyone else now boxing in. So for the first time today, we are going to lead as Hamilton onto a set of the hard compound tyres. George Russell opting to stay out there ahead of Daniel Ricciardo and Guan Yu Zhou. What a disappointing year it's been from McLaren. It genuinely looked like they might have the pace to fight at the top in pre-season, but it's just never once happened.
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
So team on us in then at the end of this lap. They do think, yeah, the mediums can make the distance there, as Leclerc is actually on a fresh set of mediums, so not too sure what Ferrari are doing. No way he can make it to the end, surely, on that set of tyres. Are some of the AI considering two-stopping, as Verstappen has now gone fastest as well? So perhaps, yeah, they are trying to two-stop this race. That's why they might have been so aggressive on the tyres there. Hamilton as well, he's definitely trying to one-stop this on a set of hard compound tyres. But is Verstappen on the softs? We can only hope, I suppose, as, yeah, we are going to box then at the end of this one, and then hopefully get a bigger picture of what's going on. I mean, Russell, yeah, has taken almost a second out of me in that Aston Martin, and he's been on the same tyres as me for basically the same length of time. Round in the final couple of corners, into the pit lane we come, here in Kota then, and now we're going to have a much better look at what's going on in this Grand Prix. Super aggressive on the way into the pit lane there. Leclerc is, of course, going to re-inherit the lead, but surely, I mean, yeah, look at those tyres. Way overheating towards the end of that stint there, 106 on the fronts there. But Hamilton, yeah, Verstappen surely is on softs. Yes, he is. So that's perfect to see. No idea why the car wouldn't go then. So yeah, looks like a lot of these guys are trying to one-stop this then.
Have to stop once now. One stop left.
This could be a battle between Lewis Hamilton and myself. But Gasly, ooh, and Lance Stroll trying to dispute 8th place as we head towards turn 1. We almost accidentally got roped into that battle. But yeah, looks like there is some varying strategies going on. And now we just got to try and watch this race pan out, I think. It'll be, again, one of those ones where you don't really know who you're battling right until the very end. Oh, we got yellow flags out. Someone's got issues here. Please don't be a safety car. That would very much be game over for us. I think it's Pierre Gasly who might be falling to the wayside in this US Grand Prix. As, yeah, it looks like Pierre pulling off there on track.
They are out of the race.
But I think we've got away with that safety car there. And, yeah, that would really not help us in this GP. We're finally feeling confident with the car again. Fresh set of medium tyres there. Don't look like they're going to overheat as well, which is super, super important. Perez and Tsunoda going side by side up the back straight. And I think, yeah, Perez has actually pulled off a second move there. He jumped Lando not too long ago. But we're already halfway in to this USGP. It really has flown by so far. Oh, getting really now close to the DRS on our teammate Lando Norris. But looking at it, Hamilton really, really falling back. Of course, he's the man we're really battling on the one-stop strategies here, as now Perez having a look to the outside of the 10-time Formula 1 World Champion. Can't quite make the move work this time round. Hamilton will live perhaps to fight another lap.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
There we go, Verstappen into the box. His team now want us to box again in this GP. How far back is Verstappen going to be when he does head out of the pits? Gap's going to be about, what, 10 seconds? Just under 9 seconds to Max Verstappen there, as we do need to probably think about trying to get around our teammate as well as all these other cars. You can see how much time we lose in the dirty air through this middle part of the lap. But as we attack the curbs as we head up the hill, yeah, we've got to try and stick close now. That is got to be the gap we've got to try and defend from Max Verstappen right the way through to the end of this GP. Is Orlando a little bit slower than I was expecting, heading down in towards the back straightaway. We should be able to get a run now on our teammate. And surely this is a bit of a multi-21 between myself and Lando Norris. They're straight up the inside of our teammate. Hamilton and Perez round 2 as well. So we'll try not to cost Lando any time to the cars behind as well. In the final couple of corners though, oh, Perez into the pits. That was a bit, well, a bit surprising to be honest right then. Tsunoda now though, just in front of us, and we need to really try and get past Yuki. Leclerc still out in the lead of this GP, but can we get up the inside of Yuki Tsunoda into T1 there? Beautiful little send on the Japanese driver, and now we're up into P3 once more of the US Grand Prix. Again though, much more worried about the gap to Max Verstappen further back there, as fingers crossed now we can try and do what Perez did to Hamilton. Let's just see how fast that Mercedes is down the back straight then, as we try and stick close to Lewis Hamilton here. Get a really nice run actually out onto the back straight. Those hard tyres not working for Lewis at the moment there, as we're going to go to the outside of Lewis Hamilton. We should be clean past him. Yeah, we are. Before we even get to the braking zone there, get it slowed down nice and tidy. I went out a bit of P2 of the GP. Leclerc,
good job, nice overtake.
surely not far away from boxing either. And yeah, this race has ebbed and flowed so far. But at the moment, the momentum has swung back in our favour. So there we go, at the end of that very same lap, Leclerc into the pits. So now it is going to be between Hamilton and I for a few laps, and I think we just need to work together with our fellow Englishman there, as Leclerc in.
Lando in the pits.
Lando and Yuki into the pits as well. What is the gap going to be to Leclerc when he heads back out? I think it's only going to be about 6-7 seconds. There's Verstappen. Is Leclerc going to stay ahead of Max Verstappen? Looks like he is. So yeah, the gap about 8 seconds to Charles Leclerc. 11 laps to go of this USGP. Are we about to pull out the unthinkable strategy and make it work? I think a lot of it could rely on Hamilton, hopefully acting as a rear gunner. So that was a huge kick of understeer at the top of the hill. Was not a fan of that, and I'm sure the fronts weren't either. Medium tyres at the moment are definitely the ones to be on. Looks like there's not much pace drop off, and they're lasting really, really well early on in this stint. I mean, we're only up to about, what, 25% wear there or thereabouts? Yeah, look at that, 24%. on the fronts. Gap to Verstappen and Leclerc still over 7 seconds there, as if they start battling each other, they could really fall over in this race and let Hamilton and I walk away. 6 laps to go then here from Cota, and this could be really, really close towards the end. Hamilton really, really struggling on his set of tyres at the moment, but he is just falling back towards Leclerc and Verstappen. The gap for us is holding up a little bit more stable, but it is still coming down. Lap after lap after lap. This could be right down to the wire. We've had so many last lap battles on F1 2021. I've never known a game like it for him. But could we get another one here today? Or will Hamilton come in clutch and just give us that little bit to hang on against potentially, I think, yeah, in real life, 2 of F1's future hot properties? And that is certainly not going to help us out in this Grand Prix. Big, big snap of oversteer as we head through the Turkey section, and that's going to bring Leclerc, Verstappen and Hamilton all just that bit closer to us. 5 to go now here in Cota. Oh, we got more yellow flags out. I think one of the Alpines, no, it's Nicholas Latifi with issues late on in the Grand Prix. Could have really done with a VSC there just to give us a few corners where the AI aren't gaining anything, but yeah, safety car might have been the end of us here today. Hamilton's still hanging on ahead of Leclerc and Verstappen, and they're just not going to be able to do anything until this back straightaway. But I think now Hamilton probably isn't going to have much to answer against as they gain on the Mercedes. Is he actually going to be able to hang on for another lap? Go on, Lewis. Yes, he has. Hamilton really coming in clutch. As yeah, now we've got to try and navigate the yellow flags of Latifi's stricken car. Pretty certain it was just an engine failure for the Williams, not what Mercedes need late on in the year. But poor Latifi out of what is... No, not as close as his home Grand Prix. We have raced at Canada on F1 2021. Genuinely can't remember if we have this season, though. That's quite bad. Don't think we did. Come on, Hamilton. Do it again for us, mate. Please, I beg. Hang on for just one more lap in this GP. Leclerc is gaining on Lewis again, and I think this time round it's not quite going to be enough from the Mercedes there. Hopefully he keeps Verstappen at bay, which it looks like he might well have done. But yeah, Leclerc now right in the hot seat. 2 more laps to go here from Cota, and Leclerc now less than 3 seconds back. He wants Ferrari's first win of the year. About to start the final lap then of the USGP, and what a weird little race this one has turned into. But these are the sorts of races where championships are won and lost, and so far it's been a brave strategy today. The gap to Leclerc still at 2 seconds. I'll be honest, Hamilton, yeah, might have completely clutched to me this one today. We've come and watched our fellow Brit win so many world titles in the past, and maybe, just maybe, this weekend he's helped us potentially try and eye up our first in the sport. But rounding the final lap then of this USGP, Leclerc, I'm sure, is going to be deploying absolutely everything that Ferrari's got left in it, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He'd have to be within the range heading out onto the back straight, and I don't think he is going to be. Yeah, look at that, 1.5 seconds still. The gap to Charles Leclerc. Could Hamilton? No, I don't think he's going to be within range of Max Verstappen there. 4 cars with 3 different power units from 4 different teams are going to be separated by 4 seconds at the end of this USGP. There are multiple championships between them. There are 11, of course, 10 courtesy of Lewis Hamilton. But rounding the final few corners of the USGP, early on, I thought this one was just going to be, you know, consolidate some good points there, a good sort of top 5, top 6. Somehow, the mediums have completely turned this race around for us. We've come in, we've just kept a level head throughout the entirety of this USGP and tried to play the long game, and we are going to be rewarded. No safety cars, just raw pace and tyre management. Rounding the final corner, it's back-to-back wins for the first time this year. We take the dub in Cota.
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
Here we are then, a real team effort to overcome their rivals for a memorable win here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today and the results speak for themselves.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top 3 finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today. Mr. Monaco increases their championship lead. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Nikita Mazepin gets my vote today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The current leaders continue to extend their lead at the top. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
And in today's episode of things I never expected to hear in Formula 1, Nikita Mazepin, driver of the day there. But we somehow, from 4th on the grid, great little strategy choice today, helped us out. We come in clutch to take home the dub here at the US Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc P2, Ferrari are definitely back and fighting in these final 4 rounds of the year. Are they going to be able to get a win on the board? Only time will tell. Verstappen in P3 with fastest lap means he only loses out 9 points this weekend. But I'm sure, yeah, the Dutchman feeling, with just 3 races to go of the year, perhaps his championship defence is gonna not amount to anything there. Hamilton 4th ahead of Daniel Ricciardo and George Russell there. Big results for all 3 of those ahead of Perez, Tsunoda. Lando down in P9 ahead of Valtteri Bottas there means that we do still gain 4 points. 5 points, sorry, even, over Red Bull this weekend there. And yeah, Valtteri Bottas rounding out the top 10. Sainz with those issues early on, down in 11th place there. Very, very disappointing, I'm sure, for the Spaniard. Yeah, you can see Mazepin 22nd to 13th. Credit where credit's due. He did overtake a handful of cars during that GP there. Probably cars he should have, but yeah, the less said about that, the better. 78 points available now, though, means it is just a 2-horse race between myself and Max Verstappen for the championship. We could theoretically wrap it up in in Mexico next time round, but we'd basically have to win and hope Verstappen doesn't score any points. But yeah, looking towards Mexico, Brazil, Jeddah, are we going to have a championship decider heading into the final race of the campaign? All will be decided very, very soon there. Leclerc, though, with that big result, now tied with Pierre Gasly. Perez and Sainz now tied as well, just 8 points behind him. I'm really hoping Lando can hold on to P3 in the championship. Ricciardo, with that good result as well, jumps his teammate Valtteri Bottas. No other movers, though, further down the order. Constructors-wise, though, still 51 points clear as we head in towards the final 3 races of the campaign. We've got a good little lead at the moment, but we need to try and hang on right out until the bitter end. Things can dramatically change in the world of Formula 1. But thank you all so much for watching this video nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well. 3 races to go of the campaign. I'll see you guys very, very soon in Mexico. You guys do not want to miss it. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.